Hello, everyone. Welcome to Financeology 101. Class is now in session. The information provided during this podcast is just that information. You will need to do further research to address your specific situation. Enjoy the session. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy
Welcome to
New Year. Happy New
That's
Year.
right. Welcome to 2024. Welcome to another podcast of Gifted Generations Presents Financeology 101. I'm one of your
Yes,
hosts,
yes, yes.
Robin Seegers, and the other host is,
Elroy Seegers.
and we are in 2024,
Yes, we
and
are.
we just wanted to come in and say welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yep, yep, yep.
All
So
right.
I have a little blurb I want to play for you guys about your funding and your bills and stuff. So I'm gonna let it play, then we're gonna talk about it. And Robin, let me know if you cannot hear this. Holiday spending season. Americans spent more money online than ever before. It's great to have Elizabeth Schulte here in the studio to tell us about the ways to tackle that holiday debt. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Michael. It's great to be here in the studio. And it was a record holiday shopping season online, and that means some big bills will soon be due. New data from Adobe Analytics shows that Americans spent $222 billion online in November and December. That was up 5% from last year, and those strong sales were driven by steep discounts for electronics, toys, and clothes. A record $16.6 billion in purchases were made using buy now, pay later. Those are those flexible payment plans. They allow you to make payments in installments instead of all at once, but beware that you could face fees if you do not make your payments on time. When it comes to tackling your holiday debt, now is the time to make a game plan. Experts say it's best to prioritize the bills with the highest interest rate. So that means you want to pay more than just the minimum on your credit card. You can also look into a zero balance transfer card. Basically, move your debt to a new account with no interest for a set amount of time while you try to pay it off in full. And finally, it never hurts to call your card issuer. See if you can negotiate a lower rate. It could end up saving you hundreds of dollars on your statement. Guys, some good advice in those interest rates are
Wow. That was incredible.
Yeah, buddy.
Billions,
Yep,
billions.
yep. You know what? And they talk about some of the things we've always talked about in all our podcasts. So we know we're right on cue. We're lining up things, what people are saying out there in today's market, in today's world. But when you hear about how much money that was spent,
Hmm.
it's just mind blowing. It really
Definitely.
is. It's mind blowing. I'm going.
So
That's a lot of money.
a lot.
Yeah,
We can't even imagine.
222 billion spent online. Now you talking about online. Can you imagine how much was spent in the stores, physically in the stores? If
Yes.
222 billion was spent online in November and December, can you imagine what they call them?
Right.
Big box store? What they call those things? What they call them now?
Yeah.
Big box store, big
Still
box stores?
no.
Yeah,
Brick
big
and
box stores.
mortar. No, brick and mortar.
Brick and mortar, that's the word. I'm saying
Hmm.
big box.
Hmm.
Like
That's
uh,
Costco and BJ's
oh,
big
that's right.
big
Okay.
box
Brick and mortar
store.
is actually a physical store you can go in and buy
Hmm.
stuff. So thank you for that.
Hmm.
And not
Hmm.
only that, 16.6 billion was spent for deferred payment. Buy now, pay later type stuff. That's a lot.
That
That is a lot of cash,
yes.
people.
So the reason why we're here today is to hashtag 2024 financial plan. You have to have a plan to tackle all the debt that you accrued
Yes.
for the holidays.
Yes.
So you know how the beginning of each year we always have a New Year's resolutions, and they last maybe a few weeks, and then
Mm,
you back to your old ways. For the most part, it's because we make them so big that they're not attainable.
correct.
And so we can't attain that. Can't sustain that.
Correct.
So we drop off and go back to what we know, what we're familiar with. So this session, we want to give you some topics or ideas of how to just start nipping at your financial debt. and have a financial New Year's resolution that's more attainable. So Kiplinger has 14 New Year's resolutions for us, and the first one they say check your credit report.
Yep.
That's the first thing. Check your credit report.
Yep. And that's important.
Because a lot of loans and things that you do are based on your credit report. You have excellent credit report. The way high interest rates are high now,
Mm-hmm.
you have good credit standing. Your
Mm-hmm.
interest rates are a little lower.
Yep. And they already, like I said, they're already so high. Even with good credit,
Hmm
you're still gonna get hit pretty hard. So if you in a good to okay standards, you talking about anywhere between 9-10% interest for cars and stuff like that, and that's a whole lot more money paying for something than you would what you probably originally planned out for. Yeah.
Right, and I looked it up. For cars, if you're in good standing, it's about 6%, 6-7%.
Mm-hmm.
So that's high.
Yeah. Compared to what it used to
So
be. Mm-hmm.
maybe your New Year's resolution is to clean up your credit score.
Amen to that.
So, and also here's another one. Take advantage of your employer offered financial wellness benefits. Meaning if they match your retirement, take advantage of that. If they offer
Oh,
financial advisors, take advantage of that. Okay, y'all, we in
just
the middle
just
of
podcast and power just went out and came back on.
yeah. Yes, it's a good thing that we doing this from our phones and tablets, which are charged up. We're in the middle of storms here in the east, so
What that is
we
that when you got good information to give out, something's trying to intervene from it going out from us to you. That's all that is. When it's that good, something's trying to stop you. And we're not gonna let it stop us to get this information out to you.
right. So we just had a quick power
Power
bump
bump.
with the storms that's passing through us, but we're gonna press on.
Press
So
on, sister. Press on.
So, if your company offer a matching for your retirement, please take advantage of that. Look into that. Go to HR and find out. Uh, HR is human resources, and find out all about your retirement plan and the matching of your company. And
Yep.
if they offer financial advisors, some companies offer their employees financial advisors where you're
Right.
not paying for it; they're paying for
Right.
it for you,
Right.
which is amazing. Take
Yep.
advantage of that.
Yep. One thing I will say is, anytime you make any kind of changes, you don't want to make those changes without knowing what you're getting yourself into. What I mean by that is like
Mhm.
know where you are, where you stand, right? So
Mhm.
when you go out and buy a car, okay, I want to get no more than $20,000, or I can't afford no more than $450 a month. You know where you stand. You can't go out and say, "Give me a Maserati." $700, right? You're like, no, that's too much. So what I mean by knowing you stand is like document what your finances are, so you can paint yourself a pretty picture saying, okay, this is where I am, this is where I'm trying to get to. Hey, I need to save more money. Hey, I need to put more money in the 401k. Hey, I want to pay off this bill. You want to write those things down, but you first got to know
Mhm.
what you got going out and what you got coming in. You want to be able to
Right.
analyze what you have.
And that's where a financial advisor would come in to play. They would help you with that. So if your company
Right,
offers that, please take advantage of that. The
right,
next one, Kiplinger says, eliminate unnecessary reoccurring subscription fees. Hulu, Netflix, the gym.
right. Yep,
Some
yep.
people
That's it.
paying for all these gym fees that don't even go. They go January and that's it.
Yep.
So they getting 11 months out of you of monthly fees that you're not even utilizing. That's wasted money. That money could go towards paying off a credit card or go in your savings account. So go through your finances, see which subscription services you're not using, you have not used, and close those accounts. Save that money.
Yep.
And we
Amen to
all
that.
do it. We all do it because a lot of us subscribe to all sorts of things because now a lot of things are subscription based. So,
Yes.
and you forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
You
You do.
forget all about it, and you're
Yep.
not checking your bank statements. So
Yep.
they just taking that money every month, and they don't care you not using it. They getting their money every month.
Yep.
So please do some inventory of your subscriptions,
Yep.
and the ones you're not using, go ahead and get rid of. Or if you're not sure, then I say sometime in March, go look back. If you haven't used it, get rid of it. I
Yep.
would say at least 3 to 4 times a year, go through. If you haven't used it, get rid of it.
Yep. One thing I pay attention to is the interest rates. And, I listen to their projections as far as they're going to freeze it, they're going to raise it a quarter point, they're going to lower it, because that's going to impact not only the stock market but also how much money you'll be paying out of your pocket. Because each time they raise the interest rate, that means we're gonna be paying more for a certain item, a house or a car and things like that. Credit card interest and stuff goes up. So I noticed on this here list, it says, I like this here. It said, and the same thing should go for a car too. But this went to a big market. It says, get pre-approved for a mortgage and set, did it again, and set a comfortable monthly budget if you're looking for a new home. This would make things easier and smoother. So that is a good point to make, because a lot of times when you go look for a car, you normally go to this, say, hey, we can get you finance for X, Y, and Z. I always tell people, go to the bank, go to your credit union, and get your pre-approved loan, so you know exactly how much you're gonna pay for that car when you walk into
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
car dealership. Don't go in there and say, oh, this car coming $20,000. Say, well, we can get you down to 450. Go on, oh, can you give me lower? Can you give me lower? You're fussing. You're going back and forth. Always going there with, this is how much I got. Someone's going to pay. Take it or leave it. If it ain't going to make it, go find you another car. But don't always try to say, yeah, I can afford this here. I was planning for 450. Well, 500 ain't too bad. $50 ain't more. It's going to be a lot more in the end of the road.
Mhm.
So I like the fact that it says get pre-approved. It says mortgage, which is really huge, also for your cars too.
Right. I totally agree. That way you already know what your
Yeah,
monthly payments are going to
yeah,
be, and you can already start building that into your
yeah,
financial plan. So definitely get pre-approved for things.
yeah.
Next is use a cashback credit card. And with that, those are the ones that the credit cards that you can get cash back, you can get
Mm.
points, miles,
Gotta be
you can
smart
get
though.
points with Amazon.
Yeah.
You can get some of your cards even
Hotel
offer
points. Hotel
some of your
points.
some of your cards also offer purchase protections,
Yeah,
warranty protections, even
yeah,
travel insurance.
yeah.
So check out those credit cards that's going to give you a benefit other than you having it. It's a secondary benefit to it, but you also have to be really strict that if you use the credit card,
Pay it
that you
off.
got to have the money to pay it
Pay
off
it off. Yeah,
immediately,
yeah.
not 6 months down the road. I
Right.
mean, the next month.
Yeah, they'll be like, "Hey, man, I spent $2,000. I just got $50 back." Well, we still owe $2,000. You know what I'm saying? So
Right,
don't always look
right,
at what you got coming in. Look how
right,
much you're giving out. You gotta have a balancing of it.
right,
Like, well,
right.
we have two cards that I like to use, and one gives me, when I make a purchase, hotel points, and one gives me points to buy stuff on Amazon. I can go on Amazon and I have all these points, and I can either pay cash for it, or I can use my points to buy what I want to get, or I can turn those points in and get things I can select. But you want to be wise about using that card, because you don't want to make the balance so big that, yeah, you may have gotten points for the purchases, but you still got to pay off that balance.
Right, right. So, like you said, be wise about it. You still have to be diligent about how you spending on that credit card and how you paying it off.
Yeah.
But it's also good that you're getting something back on the other
Mm,
side.
right.
Um, Refinance or consolidate high interest debt from your credit card. So that's another way to something else that you could look at. If you could refinance only if you are in good standing as far as your credit, because once again, your credit has a big portion of this consolidation, what
Mm,
interest rate you get.
Hmm.
So if you think that it's an upside to refinance or consolidate, do that to
Right.
streamline your debt.
Right.
Also, reassess your insurance coverage annually because your life changed.
Right.
You may be married, so you
Hmm.
need different type of insurance. Now you're a homeowner, you need
Hmm.
different insurance. Now
Yep.
you have kids, you need
Yep.
different insurance. Or you moved into a larger place, now you need different insurance. Oh, you're renting now, you need renters insurance.
Right.
So assess your insurance annually to see where you are and make adjustments there.
Right.
Okay,
I,
so it
I,
also says Kiplinger also says nail down the details of your
I
financial
was
goals.
I was just talking about that. I didn't know that was on the list until you just mentioned what
Mm-hmm.
you just mentioned. I was
Mm-hmm.
saying make sure you know where you are.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean by the
Mm-hmm.
details. You gotta have the details.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just can't say, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay off some bills." No, you have to be specific. Okay, I'm gonna pay off this credit card A, and how I'm
Right.
gonna pay this off is I'm not gonna eat out, and I'm gonna take that money from eating out that I
Hmm.
usually would take eating out. Then I'm gonna assign it to this credit card until it's all paid off.
Right.
Have a plan, a
Right.
detailed plan about how you're gonna do this. Because
Right.
if you leave it vague, if you leave it open to interpretation, it's not gonna happen.
Here's what I do like though. I typically see at the beginning of the year, people are a lot more. They have more of a resolute about doing things because
Right,
it's the beginning of the year. They want to get a good start. And if
right.
you do it at the beginning of the year, you may make it from January to February to March, and now you got the ball rolling. Typically, when I see people starting in the middle of the year, it's like, oh, why can't I wait to January to start? Or why can't I wait to March? Why can't I wait to Christmas? They procrastinate when they want to start date. But typically, when
Hmm.
you start in January, February repeated. You got March, and you start seeing it grow. So now you feel like you have started your year off right, and now you can make changes. I tend to see people not wanting to do as well when the year's already started. We in like March, April, May type thing. It's
Hmm.
like, oh man, I missed the first 3 months. So okay, I just wait till next year. They wait 9 more months instead of just using those 9 months. I see that a lot.
But that's because they're not serious about making a
Right, right.
change.
Well,
They
that's
not really,
procrastination. Yeah,
yeah,
procrastination.
yeah.
Yeah,
They're not really serious about changing
yeah,
their financial situation. So they
yeah,
keep
yeah.
kicking the can down the road, and come January, um, they'll start and they'll end it January
Right,
30th, the end of January.
right, right.
So this is something you have to be intentional about. You have to
Yeah.
be sick and tired of being sick and tired about your finances not being right. And when you get to that point, I don't care when you started,
Mm,
you're going to be ready to start.
wow.
So this is really intentional. You have to be on point about what you want and how you want it and be real focused and detailed about it. Because like I said, if you're not detailed, meaning you gave it a lot of thought,
Right,
it's not going to happen.
right.
It's not going to happen. So the next one, Kiplinger says, learn how to live below your means. Uh-oh. Right? Keeping up with the Joneses, as we used to say,
Yep, that's it. That's
us
it.
60s babies. Keeping up with the Joneses. Oh, my girl got a Louis Vuitton. I got to get me
Let me
one.
get me one too.
My girl riding in the Mercedes Benz. I got to get me one.
Yep.
Never mind. You don't know if your girlfriend got the money or not. She may be showing like she got the money, but she may not have that money, and she might be over there struggling. Now
Mm.
you struggling too, but y'all both faking it, like
Hey,
you rolling like that. Learn to
all
live
right.
below your means. It's all good. You don't have
Yep.
nobody in to impress.
Yep. That's a fact. That's
All
a
right,
fact.
so the next one is consider maximizing your
Maximizing your
red
return. I like that
retirement.
one. I like that number.
Yeah, they said the government says for 2024, your maximum investment for your 401k can be $23,000 and your IRA 7,000.
So, and that 23,000 is for people who are under um, the makeup age retirement. So once you
Mm-hmm.
get, I think it's man, was it 50 or 55? I think it's 55. Once you get 55, you're allowed to do the makeup contributions. I'll double check that real quick.
Okay. And one thing that Elroy said that I never even thought about it is that when is the retirement age?
50. It's 50 for makeup contribution age. Yeah.
No, no. What is the retirement age?
Oh,
What's the retirement age, Elroy?
when you can afford to retire.
Right. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's 60, what, 62." Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's when you can retire.
Yeah. It's
You
whatever
you don't re-
age. Yeah.
if you are diligent about putting your money away and 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 doing your retirement plan and stocks
Yep.
and bonds and all that good stuff, and then you can retire at 45, you can retire at 45. No
Yep.
one says you have to work to 62.
Yep. Yep.
That's up to you.
That's a trick question I always ask people, and I always just laugh because I keep saying no, 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 wrong, wrong, wrong. They're like, what? Like wrong, wrong, wrong. So whatever they said, somebody said, what happened was it was an older gentleman. He says, you can retire when you have enough money to retire. I said, there it is. And
Yep.
he was about 72, said it. So he was already retired. So he's like, when you got enough money to retire, there's no such thing as age. That's it.
We get
That
stuck
is
on
the answer.
what the federal government says,
Tell me.
but no, it's whenever you have the money to retire. So if
Yeah.
you're in your 20s, start stocking putting that money away
Yeah.
so that you can retire early
Yeah. That's
and
it.
live your best life.
Yeah. So what number are you did a creative plan with your partner yet? That's the next
No,
one. Okay.
yeah. Well, you just said it. Create a plan with your partner. It's best to do it together so you have points of view from
Who
two
your partner?
different
Who your
people.
partner? Who your partner?
I
Who
don't
your
know. I'm
partner?
trying to figure that out. So if you have a partner, sit down and come up with a plan. If you have accountability partner,
Mm-hmm.
sit down and come up with a plan and help them, and they will help you get that together. Come up with a plan with a financial advisor,
Mm-hmm.
whomever your partner is. Make
Mm-hmm.
sure it's somebody that's well versed in finances and
Mm-hmm.
not just spending and blowing through money because they're not good accountability partners,
Right. Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it says save and grow your money for retirement as early as possible to combat inflation.
Yep. The more you start saving,
Mm-hmm.
the earlier you start saving, the more you'll
Right.
have long term. Now, when you first
Yes.
start, it may not look like it's a lot, but you just set it and forget it, and you come back a year or 6 months, and you want to make sure you got your money allocated in the way you want it to be allocated to, and next you're like, wow, that happened to my son, our son. He was like, so if I increase it, this is, I was like, yep. So he's giving about 300, over $300 a month for his retirement. Before he was only giving $25. He realizing the more I give, the more this fast is gonna grow. So earlier I can. Yep. He's like, what? So once he got the concept, when it clicked, he just started just pumping what he could into it. I don't know what you put into it now. And I know it's a pretty substantial amount. And they normally say if you're 25, if you start putting away $25 a month, you'll be a millionaire by X, Y, and Z. You know, he
Mm-hmm.
got an early start. People getting early starts. It's that I can say for myself, I got a late start, so I'm doing the makeup contributions. I'm doing everything I can do to maximize our finances for retirement. But hey,
Mm-hmm.
that benefits benefits us. So
Right. Right. So the next one is take control of interest rates, which means it goes back to your credit score.
yeah, it does.
You can control your interest rate by your credit score.
Yeah, yeah. I like this
Like I
last one.
said,
I like this
if you
last one.
have if you have excellent interest
Hmm.
credit rating, then your interest rates will be lower
Look
compared to
at
other people.
look at it this way. The worse your score is, the more money you're gonna be paying somebody else for something that you should own at a lower price. So instead of
Hmm.
you paying $2,000 for, let's say $10,000 for a car, you're gonna the car is ticketed for $20,000. So you paying 20,000 plus 2,000 interest. You'll be paying 10,000 because your credit's so low. They're able to charge you anything that you're going to accept the fact because I got a new car, but you're paying way too much. And then refinances are going to be even worse because you're paying way too much for a car that you're underwater with that you should never got in the first place. So that score, it is important.
Definitely very important. So it is to your best interest
Yeah.
to check your credit report. If you have not done that, or if you've never done it, or if you haven't done it lately, that should be the first thing you should do is
Yeah.
check your credit score to see where you are and how you can make life easier for yourself.
Amen to that.
All right. And the last point from Kiplinger, build an emergency fund. Now you'll hear people saying $1,000 for your emergency fund.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, Elwer, how much can you put in your emergency fund?
As much as you want.
Right, right.
And
There's no limit to how much you can
yeah,
put in an emergency fund. But you hear a lot of people say build a
yeah.
$1,000
And that's a starting
emergency
point.
fund.
Yeah, that's a starting
Yeah.
point. The reason why I say that, if you have a bill for $1,000 and you have to pay 850, I mean, you got $1,000 in your account and something costs $800, that $1,000 is great. Now let's say you blow an engine in your car and now your car is gonna cost you $4,000. Well, that's only $1,000 until $4,000 emergency thing. So if you can do $1,000, continue to put money into it routinely, and next you know you got 2,000, you got 3,000, you got 4,000, you got 5,000. So now when that emergency comes up, it's not like an emergency to you because you got money set aside. It's only an emergency because of the incident. It's not a financial emergency. It becomes both when you don't have the money. It becomes an incident as an emergency and also financial because you don't have the money. You got two emergencies. I don't have the money to pay for it. Versus,
Right,
oh, I got the money to pay for it. And so now you only focus on the emergency of the incident, and that's it.
right, right. So work on building that emergency fund. Just remember that keep it in a separate account. You don't want it to be with your savings account
Right.
because you see your savings account going down because of an emergency, you're gonna
Yep.
get discouraged. So keep it totally separate in a separate savings account.
Right.
And if you have say 2,000 and you use 1,000 for an emergency, replenish that 1,000.
There you
Go
go.
back to putting money in it
There
so
you
you're
go.
back up to 2,000.
That's it. That's it. That's it. You know what? I do want to challenge the listeners to something you and I might want to think about. Challenge the listeners each time, giving them a homework assignment. And I was just reading about some stuff since we were talking about. I mean, a few of these things we were talking about, like 401k, retirement, FICO score.
Mhm.
You know, I want to challenge the users to do some reading. Look up the Secure 2.0 Act. There's some laws that were impacted this year, some changes. The Secure 2.0 Act was voted on in 2022, but some of the laws didn't come into place until 2024 this year. There are some good changes this year. One is the student debt relief. That's one. The other one is workplace emergency accounts that they are instituting for people at work. 529 rollovers. As far as taking your 529 and say, "Oh, my kids got a college scholarship. What I'm gonna do this money?" They allow you to roll that over nowadays. And then what else is this? Penalty-free withdrawal for emergencies and change it to Roth 401k rules. They got all those are the 5 things right now, and that's a big impact. So I challenge you to go out there and read more about those things. If you want to, what I'm looking at is cnbc.com. That's one of the sites that I always look at and stuff to get information. But go out there and look at the Secure 2.0 Act. There's 5 things that's major, that's changed, that's impacted this year that you might want to consider. Just knowing about it, I think is very helpful.
And what I'll do is I'll get the URL for that site and I'll
Okay.
post it on the Podbean website
Yeah, let me
so
go. Let me
that
send it to you
you'll
then.
you'll have that. And also I will put the Kiplinger URL on the Podbean website so that you can go out there and read Kiplinger's 14 ideas for financial New Year's resolutions, and read it in detail. The 14 things we just went over is in the article online. So I'll post that link as well so that you can go out there and read it in full. But they hit the nail on the head because we have to and take baby steps. please don't make it big things because you're making it unattainable.
Right.
Take baby steps with your finances. And as you get better in one area, then you work on another area. As you get better in that area, you go to
Amen.
another area.
Amen.
But it's only going to work if you sit down, give thought
Amen.
to it, come up with a
Amen.
plan,
Amen.
and set goals that you can attain.
Amen. Uh,
Okay?
all right. So
So,
look, let me give y'all guys where y'all can find us. We do want to toot our own horn here. Robin and I, we do offer services individually or as a group to people that need help in the 2024 year. I think we're pretty darn good at it because we have a lot of success cases. But I always tell people the success is what you make it. If you're not going to invest your time into it, then you won't be successful. You got to see it and you got to go out and do it. We do offer a one-time consultation meeting to see where you are and figure out a plan. You can figure out you want to continue to go with us. But we do offer those services, and like I said, we have
it's,
some very good success stories too.
and the services he's mentioning is financial coaching.
There you go.
If
Glad
you
you
need
said that.
financial coaching,
That's right. Clean it up, girl. Clean it up.
contact us, and we'll be happy to walk with you through this financial journey.
Yep. So if you want to follow our podcast, how we can be found and stuff, and get all the information. So this will give you our podcast link. Will also give you our website to find that financial coaching. So for you can find us on our podcast at giftedgenerations-llc.com/podcast. That's our website. That way you can listen to us as far as repeated things that we post after we go live. You can also find us on Facebook. It's at Gifted, at GIFTED Gen LLC. Instagram is gift.gen. And of course, on YouTube, you can just do Gifted Generation LLC. You'll be able to find us. As all our portions are out there. And of course, we have a Twitter handle. It's Gifted Gen 2019. And you can find us on Spotify, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio under Financeology 101. And also, if you have an Android, our app is out there. It's called Bags of Money. We think it's a great app. We know it's a great app. It helps you to monitor your finances, your daily finances, and it does not collect any information as far as your banking statements, anything like that. It's something that is like a electronic checkbook that allows you to put your information in the app, and it actually can project your balance based on your recurring expenses and recurring income. So it does a great job. So you already know you get paid the first of every month. It's going to put the first of every month that amount in there, and you can alter that amount if need be, the dollars and cents. So there you go, Robin. I'll let you have the last word.
Okay, everyone. So, all that information, social media, all the links and everything will be posted on the Podbean website. Once I upload this audio file, I'll have all that information out there. Of course, it's financeology101.podbean.com. We'll have all the links out there and all the information for our coaching and for
Yes,
the app. All of that information will be placed in Podbean. So
yes,
thanks
yes.
again. Once again, Happy New Year's. And we pray that you will take the time to look at your
Start your year
finances.
off right and carry it on
Yeah,
to 2025. But 1 month, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month at a time.
that's right. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Have a good
Yeah.
night.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Well, thank you for tuning in to our podcast, Financeology 101. I hope you enjoyed this session and the information provided will assist you on your financial journey. Until next time, be financially engaged.